Hey everybody, it's nice to have you here with me today. I wanted to say hello, give a brief update, and then get into some reflection discussion on really the topic of transference in psychotherapy. Um, so, entering into my uh, the second half of my second year of studying the theory of psychoanalysis, the different theories and different ways of practicing psychoanalysis in addition to my clinical year as a nurse practitioner in psychiatry. So, making these steps forward to hoping to eventually work with patients doing intensive psychotherapy predominantly, and then kind of assisting them in managing their medications and also in helping them taper off their medications. Because I do think that medications are being overprescribed right now in this country. Not to say that medication does not have its utility, but the key is understanding where uh, the psychopathology, as we understand it, as we define it, as we conceptualize it, is in fact coming from, and then trying to treat the underlying cause. I understand this is kind of a monumental task because mental health is sort of influenced by many different variables and factors. We have to consider the health of the body. We have to consider the health of the environment, the safety of the environment, and the relational stuff. In addition to trauma, attachment in particular, the dynamics associated with how people have built representations of how reliable their caregivers are to them, and all of this stuff. So there's a lot there that we really need to confront to treat people in a way that reflects the best evidence that we do have about the nature of the mind and the body, and how there's this connection going on, this bidirectionality, this really deep interdependence on the relational world, and the role of affect, really more generally, the role of emotions in relating, in self-regulation, and bringing those things to the forefront. Uh, Rather than focusing too much on behavior, we have to think about what's behind behavior, why behaviors do in fact repeat, and kind of rooting that out, right? And making sense of that. So, with that all being said, that's what's going on with me. Hopefully, I'll be getting started in my clinical, not this week, but the next week. It's looking like I was hoping this week, but uh, yeah, I'm going to be actually at a rural area in Alabama. I'm going to be doing quite a distance of a commute. So that's going to be um, kind of like an adjustment for me. I'm looking forward to drinking a lot of tea. That seems to be the coffee substitute. You drink a ton of tea. I'm going to be getting up very early, probably 5, 6 a.m. somewhere like that. And it's going to be a full day. And then on those days, I'll be doing my night classes uh, regarding theory and technique. Um, so yeah, just some information on transference and some thoughts for you to ponder if you'd like. So we've been covering Melanie Klein and her work. She's really kind of the first analyst to really take very seriously the attachment relationship and how that kind of sort of informs the intrapsychic sort of domain of the infant. That is to say, she took very seriously this sense of self, this ego that's being developed in relationship, but also the internal representations, the fantasy life of the infant, and how interestingly infants have a kind of, how do we put this, a kind of, the best word for it is narcissistic, but a kind of uh, intense affect, right? That is demanding satisfaction. Uh, and these intense demands are placed on the mother. And this is the reality of human development. And Melanie Klein does such a wonderful job articulating the differences that individuals can have as infants, and how mothers can be more or less showing up to this central task. And she developed this notion of positions, the paranoid schizoid position and the depressive position. And personally, I find that this depressive position seems to be very intuitive, that we achieve a depressive position, and that to kind of enjoy life, we do need to have a healthy kind of sense of guilt around our relating, our desiring. And yeah, it makes a lot of sense to me. It's very exciting. Uh, and she focuses very heavily on, like Freud, uncovering the resistance through the transference. And for me, that's where I'm at. I'm really kind of trying to figure out kind of deeply, like, if I can really help people through the transference relationship, then wow, that's what an exciting path forward for me. In psychiatry, we rely on the DSM, medications, etc. But really, we don't really have the opportunity to really get to the root cause of suffering in our medication appointments. So for me, it excites me to say, okay, well, here's a tool, maybe the most important tool I have. I'm the tool, in fact. And if I show up, goodness, some really intense things can happen. Some intense affects can happen, but it's an opportunity to kind of like heal, genuinely heal, and make sense of what we think of as memories. Because transference is really related to the memories that we do have and the images that we associate with those memories, oftentimes quite unconsciously. Jung called them complexes. And, it's fascinating to consider, in the world of medicine, as we kind of reimburse procedures, the best paid physicians are, surgeons and anesthesiologists and radiologists, where they're billing for these procedures. I think in psychiatry, what are we doing if we have a technique, if we have a procedure that really works? Well, I think the best procedure we have, if we're really showing up to the other person, is an honest relationship to our own selves. Yes, the capacity to manage our own suffering, or at the very least, to be honest about it and to have a healthy kind of sense of vulnerability in the world. I think this heals. It does. And of course, this is mirrored in all of the spiritual traditions. So with that all being said, that's what's been on my mind. I wish you all very well. If this is your first time seeing me, nice to meet you. Like the video and subscribe. I hope you'll continue with me on my journey to becoming a board certified psychiatric nurse practitioner and a psychotherapist. All the best.